Karthus from Cogmall. And then later tonight, 10 p.m. Eastern, which is going to be in roughly 7 hours, is going to be TSM versus OG, I believe it is. And that's going to be a fun match, I'm sure. Everyone loves to watch TSM. They're fun. I'm excited to see the Dignitas match, personally. I don't know if you guys are playing for Lazura, I think they're called.
Lazura Gaming, yeah.
I'm not too familiar with them.
Yeah, I've heard of them. I think that they're actually they're all friends in real life, and they like attend some local live events. So
okay,
yeah, they're pretty good.
Cool. I can't wait to see it. I'm a Scar even on Skype right now. He's always do not disturb.
Yeah,
no, he's off.
I think
I was gonna ask.
He's been having internet problems.
Oh, has he? Well, I hope that doesn't crop up during y'all's match, because that would be super unfortunate. Now, Karthus banned and Ari banned. So Karthus is something that Derpers just doesn't want to see again. Sypher was doing a great job. So right now, the two bans from Derpers are two champions that Sypher played last game and did really well. So maybe a third ban is going to be Cogmall. We'll have to see what happens here. Nocturne and Ari being banned from Sypher. Maybe potentially.
Maybe either that or I'd be really surprised if they just let Miami take it again, because that really seemed to be like the only part that they were consistently winning throughout the whole game was the AD carry position.
Most definitely, and that's exactly true, because Karthus, before kind of the mid to late game transition, he was like 1-6. Like he wasn't doing so hot. And Morgana, the third ban there, so Cogmall still on the table. Let's see if Sypher removes him. No, got banned. Maybe a Cogmall pickup. We'll have to see what happens here. It is now in Derper's hands. So without Nautilus and Karthus, I mean Sypher, there's still a lot of things on the table. Having to I don't want to say waste your bans on specific picks like Karthus and Nautilus. I wouldn't say are the most popular bans out there. You usually see like a Morgana, Soraka, stuff like that. Graves maybe, Mundo perhaps, like we saw Mundo banned last game, so I'm assuming we're going to see a Mundo pick up potentially this game. So Cogmall is still on the table. I wonder if Liumi is going to pick it up again.
Yeah, Soraka's actually banned last game and they picked it up here. I don't know, it could be AP mid, it could be support. I don't know if Europeans have caught on to the AP mid Soraka yet.
I knew Mundo was going to be out. I mean, Mundo is so strong. How do you feel about playing Mundo as a jungler?
Do
you just go where you please?
Yeah, you just do whatever you want. You can literally just do whatever you want all game, and you'll be pretty strong. I'm tired of Mundo. Like my team knows not to like ask me about Mundo or like make me play Mundo in like scrims anymore, because I think that's all I played at IPL. I only played like 2 junglers that whole tournament. So yeah, I'm done with Mundo. Hate that guy.
Mundo, great. He's great though. He's great.
Yeah, he's very strong.
And one of the best skins in the game with Corporate Mundo, if you ask me.
Yes.
Love Corporate Mundo. So taking a lot of time here for this pick, Tarek as their support. So we've got Mundo as a jungler and Tarek as a support.
Cog is still up.
Cogmall is still up. I wonder, but Tarek Cog, I mean, is a strong lane. Tarek anyone really is a strong lane. You can't go wrong.
Tarek Cog isn't that good.
Tarek Graves is fantastic though.
Yeah, you just killed them in stun.
They're just dead. Dazzle, Shatter, Buckshot, Quick Draw, collateral damage if you're 6. They're not getting out of there, I promise you that.
Yeah.
So let's see what happens.
One thing I would actually like about a pickup for Kog'Maw for Derpers is Kog'Maw's one of the best AD carries against Mundo, because he can actually kill Mundo when Mundo rushes in. Like Mundo relies on having high health and sustain, and Kog'Maw kind of just negates the fact that he has so much health. It's actually really strong, but we'll see. Maybe he's not comfortable with it.
Looks like a Kennen pickup here, and Soraka, I would imagine is I don't want to say strong against Mundo, but if they have Kog'Maw with a high attack speed late game and they have Mundo, I'd be willing to bet that Mundo could be burst down during Soraka's silence before he's even able to ult. You know, like there would just be so much damage raining down on Mundo during the silence of Soraka that
Yeah, it depends on
I
how
don't
much
think he would have
CC.
a time. I don't think he would even have time to really ultimate. I think he would go down way too fast.
It
Um,
depends on the CC really, because that's the two things you need to kill Mundo. You need him to be CC'd and you need to have high damage.
yeah.
So yeah, I mean maybe the cannon ulti would be enough. You could
And
definitely
Bear
see
Stun,
that.
between Bear Stun, Cannon Ulti, Soraka Silence, they very
Yeah.
much could take down Mundo really quickly. But Mundo, it's kind of funny you mentioned one of the strongest ways to take down Mundo is CC. But guess what?
Yeah.
His burning agony, deters CC. It reduces the amount of crowd control by I think like 25% at max level or 20%.
Yep.
So that sucks. That definitely sucks. It's very, very strong. Very, very good. Vayne and Ziggs, another pickup here from Sypher. So we'll see how the Ziggs play comes out from Sypher this time rather than on Derpers. Looks like we're going to have Kennen potentially played mid or top, one of those champions that can play either or. It's going to be dependent on the last two picks here, unless EU West has decided on running AP Soraka mid, but I don't think they have. But after seeing Scar do it at IPL, it's great.
I mean,
It's fantastic.
yeah, you don't exactly need to be good at Soraka mid to play Soraka mid. That's the other part of it.
I think that was a slight jab at Skara, right?
No, I mean he says it all the time. Like he doesn't like playing it either. It's just so stupid. You kind of have to. Like I don't know, I feel like you're missing out if you're just like not abusing something like that. If you're playing to win, which I hope competitive teams are.
Yeah. So Graves and Rumble potentially the last two pickups here from Derpers. We'll see if they lock in. They've got 5 seconds to make up their minds. They could very well change. We saw Sypher trolling with Eve a second ago until the last second and switching to Vayne. Teams love to do that. I mean, from your standpoint, you just love to do it to us shoutcasters, don't you?
Yeah, it's really fun at tournaments because you just like put up like what we always do for Digger Toss is we put up Katarina and the whole crowd goes crazy because they think that Scar's out to play Katarina and then we just troll them really hard and pick something boring like Soraka.
Yeah, I remember that happened all the time. I remember watching DreamHack, however long ago that was. Was that like a year and a half ago? And I remember Freak was casting and Dyrus thought they were gonna, he played like he was gonna pick Jax or something,
Yeah.
And I remember freaking out, and then Raidman does the same thing with Teemo. Just all the champions that you guys are essentially known for.
Yeah.
You guys really like to throw us for a loop, and so I've kind of come to the realization that I don't really like to talk about it until you're locked in, just because
Yeah.
I could get trolled at any point in time. But everyone is locked in, so we may go ahead and talk about these picks. For Derpers, they're going to have Soraka, Kennen, Graves, Udyr, and Rumble. But wait, there's got to be a switch, right?
Yeah.
Okay, there we go. Finally. So Udyr is going to be in the jungle, Kennen in the mid, I would assume. Hawkdon, very, very good AP mid player, as we've seen. Graves down bot with Soraka, and Rumble rounding out their team comp with the top lane. Over for Sypher, they're going to have Vayne and Taric down bot. Mundo in the jungle, Riven up top, and Ziggs now in the mid. We saw Ziggs, get very, very fed last game, but not quite able to finish anyone off or finish the game for his team, which is disappointing. But that was mostly because of Kog'Maw just doing so much work for the enemy team.
Definitely.
But how do you feel about these two team cups? I mean, Riven versus Rumble top lane. I feel like Rumble might take it. Just because of his AoE Flame Spitter, but at the same time, Riven scales so hard.
It just depends. Like I feel like that's kind of just a lane of just like player skill because there's points at the lane where each hero is stronger. So it's up to like Riven to capitalize like early game before Rumble hits 4, and then if Rumble can make it to then, it's up to him to push his advantage then. So yeah, I think that's just a skill matchup.
Okay. As far as middle is concerned, Kennen versus Ziggs. Where do you put the advantage?
That's one that I'm trying to think about myself because in on North America, like you don't see many Kennens mid or Ziggs. Like you never see those champions. So I've really never seen the matchup before. So it's actually going to be interesting to me. I would assume that Kennen would have a slight advantage, but
They
could be wrong.
both have very long ranges. Ziggs bouncing bomb is very long. Thundering Shuriken's long. The biggest factor I think that might play into it is just the fact that, and this happens in almost all of Kennen's matchup, is that Kennen has energy. You know, he doesn't rely on mana. He doesn't rely on blue buff to really help out his poke and sustain and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
maybe a Kinnan. Maybe a
Yeah.
Kinnan, I would say.
Possibly.
And then let's see, bot lane, Vayne, Taric, Graves, Soraka. How do you feel about it?
I think that the Grave Soraka should win out, but they definitely will be. If they make any mistakes, like they stand near walls and they get CC locked by the Vayne Taric, they could definitely lose that lane.
All right, Taric Vayne, I think is a interesting pick. If Taric can land some decent dazzles and shatters and whatnot near walls, then I think Vayne can really follow up with Condemn. But for the most part, you see a lot of AD players kind of staying around mid lane and stuff like that, and that's why the Taric Graves combo is so strong, because regardless of where you are, when you get dazzled, you're getting buckshotted right in the face, and you're taking a lot of burst damage. You know,
Yep.
as far as the Taric Vayne is concerned, they're going to rely on the enemy kind of positioning, which I think is something that you don't really want to rely on to do a lot of their burst damage. Between Condemn, Silver Bolts always does work, Tumble always does work, but having the double CC of Condemn and Dazzle would be really crucial and really amazing. But then again, you have the Soraka heal giving a lot of armor. It's just going to be. I don't know if I would. I need to look at the numbers of the Soraka armor buff versus the Shatter debuff. I wonder which one takes away more or gives more.
Oh, Soraka gives considerably more. It's like
Okay.
I think at max level it becomes like 50 more around. But it's definitely significant having the debuff, because that is so much armor that reducing it is a big part of it. If you just let somebody have 100 armor on you, you're never gonna win trades. So yeah.
True that. So Taric's Shatter isn't going to do quite as much work as I'm sure he would like it to because of the Soraka heal, but it's all going to be about timing down there as well. Because if he initiates onto the Graves and Soraka blows her heal onto the Graves, now since it's got such a long cooldown, I think it's like a 10 to 12 second cooldown, maybe even longer on the Soraka heal. They could very well switch targets and take down the Soraka very quickly. It's going to be, especially if the Shatter hits both of them, Soraka's going to have a decision to make of who's about to take way more damage, and that's going to be just up to Soraka's kind of intuition and skill right there to choose which one. But we're loading into the game right now. If people are just tuning in, this is Sypher versus Derpers. Derpers is going to be your blue team, while Sypher is going to be your purple team. This is game 2 of a best of 3. Sypher was able to take the first game. So if they're able to take this game as well, this series will be over, and we'll be back later tonight with TSM versus OG at 10 p.m. Eastern. But if Derpers is able to secure this match, we'll go into a third game, and then I'm sure it'll be no holds barred by then. I'm very excited to see what happens here. Loaded into the game right now. If you're interested, we are your casters. I am Pluto's Not a Planet, joined by I Will Dominate, the jungler from Team Dignitas. Thank you again for being here. I appreciate it.
No problem, anytime. These actually have been really good matches.
It's always exciting. Yeah, I mean that's
Yeah.
always good. If you come in to Shoutcast as a guest Shoutcaster for the worst match in the world, I'm sure you'll probably be pissed.
Yeah, it's
This
that's
sucks.
kind of what happened at IPL 4. Like the score was like 17-3, and it was kind of hard to find things to talk about. But we're actually having the problem. We have like too much to talk about. There's team fights breaking out, and we're trying to like analyze what's going on. But yeah, I mean it's definitely good games, good competition. Like
Let's see what happens here. Graves could get caught in this tribe rush here. Sypher lining
Want
up down
Taric
here.
to lead.
Here's the Taric Dazzle.
Yes.
Is he going to get onto it?
Run.
Yes, he does get the Dazzle. The quick draw puts a little bit of distance there,
He
but the
is
key
so
burst
dead.
follows shortly, along with the Ignite.
Oh,
One more
the
auto
flash.
attack. Oh, the cleaver does
Oh,
miss.
oh, and
Vayne
then he
flashes
heals.
in for it,
Oh,
and she's going to
Vayne.
be able to escape too with 29 health. Wow.
That
It
was
wouldn't have really
amazing.
mattered because Graves didn't put any damage on her or anything. She just would have been executed, so that would have been a nice trade. But already, everyone has an assist on a team of Sypher, while Vayne has first blood. Not something you quite want to see.
That was like the most manly level one I've ever seen.
That was great.
I love seeing the AD carry flash into a turret at level 1. It just looks so funny to me.
It looks like Vayne's going to sit back for a little bit. She picks up a Doran's Blade with her first blood money. So already Graves at a slight disadvantage. But, you know, as you said before, you feel that Graves and Soraka have the slight advantage. So we'll see if the Doran's Blade kind of throws a wrench into those plans, or if they're still going to do a great job down there. But Vayne right now, 1-0, Doran's Blade, 0 CS. Look at that, it's crazy.
It's not what you want. Oh, and the double golems trolling Derpers so hard it just like reset, even though they're both attacking it within its range. It was pretty frustrating. I don't know, those types of things just piss me off because I'm a jungler, so I put more emphasis on them. Hate when things randomly reset.
No, it is the worst thing in the world. I enjoy playing jungle, but I'm obviously not to your level. But it's one of the most frustrating things that can ever happen to you.
Yeah. No.
In the meantime, Mundo just using his Burning Agony, taking out this Wraith camp here. He did start at red buff, but it doesn't look like he's going for quite an early gank. He's got the Cloth Armor 5 pot, so he's going to be able to sustain extremely well in the jungle. Also regenerating, I think it's, what, 0.3 or 0.25% of his max health every second? 0.3 from his Adrenaline Rush. So just Mundo, just such a strong AoE jungler there. Oh, and there's the Dazzle. And no Shatter to follow up. Wow, I think if he would have Shattered earlier, that would have been a kill.
Yeah.
I don't know why he held on to it for so long. He definitely doesn't have mana problems
he
right
ended
now.
up missing it because he held on to it so long.
But that would have, if he had Shattered as soon as the Dazzle went off, it would have allowed Vayne to do a lot more damage, and then I think that's third Silver Bolts proc would have done Graves in. So slight misplay, if you ask me, there from Tarek's part. Mid lane, it looks like Ziggs doing a great job of harassing the cannon. Udyr coming in from behind for a gank. He does have double buff. He does have 1 level in his bear stance, so he's going to try to run in here onto Moopsy. The electrical surge will cause Ziggs to burn his flash there. They're marking Udyr now. Here comes the infective cleavers and the red buff applied to Udyr, but he's forced to flash over the wall. So right now, a lot of flashes being burned in that mid lane. Udyr no flash, Ziggs no flash. Kennen still holding on to his flashing knight, so a slight advantage there in his favor. 20 CS on him to Ziggs 11, so already a 10 to 9 CS difference there.
Definitely.
As far as junglers are concerned, do you prefer? I know you said that you played a lot of Mundo and you don't like him anymore because of it, but you can't deny he's a great jungler. Udyr or Mundo? Who do you enjoy more?
Yeah, I play Mundo every time. If I had to play for like money, I'm playing Mundo every time.
Okay.
I don't like him, but I think he's one of the strongest in the game.
So strong. Just builds that health, and it just becomes super tanky. He becomes really annoying in team fights with his cleaver, and his ultimate just running around as fast as possible, regenerating 50% of his health. Not fun at all. And his masochism is just so stupid. I think that's his increased attack damage. The lower he gets, the bigger he gets. So dumb. What a fantastic ability. But a stupid ability, if you know what I'm saying. Up top lane, Rumble and Riven putting a little bit of harass on each other. Rumble forced to burn 2 of his potions already. He's about half health. So Riven putting out some dominance right there. Pun intended with your name, I think. But I didn't quite plan on that. So Riven looks like getting the best of Rumble in this lane. I didn't quite expect that. I thought the Flame Spitter would be able to do a lot of damage and zone out the Riven a little more, but looks like she's using the Valor shield to her advantage and also getting key bursts and some nice broken wings and just putting out good damage on Rumble overall.
Yep. Riven did a good job of using the first levels of Rumble where he's really weak. He can't really CS that well, and she created a big advantage for herself. Another thing that was good was since she knew Udyr's flash was gone from the mid gank, she could play more aggressively top, knowing that that was like something that would prevent Udyr from like being able to successfully kill her if he did decide to gank top. So.
And Riven, just a very mobile champ between her broken wings and her Valor, so like she may not even have to blow a flash at that point if she is ganked. Very strong in that respect, but like you said, she knows that Udyr doesn't have one, so there you go. Able to play aggressive, able to secure, let's see how much CS, 37 CS already to Rumble's 28, so she's got about a 10 CS advantage there. Goes back and picks up 2 Doran's Blades. I'm pretty sure that's a fairly natural Riven purchase early on because she does scale very well off of attack damage. All of her abilities scale that, and also her passive scales of attack damage too, which increases her attack damage every time she uses an ability. So just going to assert her dominance up there onto Rumble and not let him get back into this fight.
Yep. Yeah, and Doran's Blades are definitely a good pickup versus Rumble since he doesn't do much physical damage. You don't really need armor or anything like that. Getting 2 Doran's Blades early into maybe a Hex Drinker is really good, especially against this team comp.
Ziggs in mid, throwing satchel charges out. Satchel charge does give bush vision, right?
I'm not sure. I don't really know much about Zig since he's not really played much on NA. But
I
I
think he
mean,
does. I mean, I think it
your
does
team seems
because it looked like he used the satchel charge to look into the brush to go ahead and get that Wraith Ward out. So I would assume it does just by the way he used it, but I'm not entirely sure whether satchel charge does give vision in the bush. So right now, looks like some blue buff being contested here. Could be a nice 3-on-3 engage. Thundering Shuriken coming out and landing onto the Ziggs. Mundo kind of using himself as a meat shield there. The key burst onto Rumble, forcing a flash there. The Equalizer does come out, doing a ton of damage to Mundo. The Cannon ultimate will take Mundo down very, very quickly, and now Riven caught in a bad position here. The key burst with her ultimate doing a lot of damage to Udyr. He may go down. He doesn't quite go down. It does blow that potion and lives with about 15 health. Riven escapes as well, but Cannon is in hot pursuit. Misses a Thundering Shuriken, not quite able to get the third mark of the storm off onto Ziggs to CC him. So it looks like they're just going to get away from that. That was a 1-for-0 exchange in the favor of Derpers.
Yeah, they had Udyr and Rumble both get out with pretty much an auto attack of health left. So yeah, it's crazy.
I was very, very surprised by Udyr escaping with 15 health. I didn't quite think that was going to happen. Udyr now doing a very risky blue buff. No, he's got his smite up, so he's able to secure that. But he got very, very low. But that turtle shield does a lot of work.
Definitely. And one thing that's nice about the team comp that they have Kennen and Rumble, and neither of them need blue buff, so he's going to be able to get blue buff all game. And I actually just saw that he's put a point at the Tiger. So yeah, that's
really?
actually something that Uders do because it does a little bit more burst damage. They go like one level of Tiger and Phoenix, and they'll just start with the Tiger before their bear stance, so they get just like a little bit of burst damage, which is actually pretty smart. I should probably consider doing that myself.
Well, there you go. You're learning something new every day. Maybe,
So
maybe in the future.
spectate.
Yeah, in the future we're gonna see you play Udyr and do that exact same thing, and I'm gonna call you out for stealing Talol's Udyr style, and it's gonna be
Talol's
fantastic.
teaching me how to play the video games.
Up top, some damage trading coming out from Rumble and Riven. Rumble, I'm pretty sure the bad thing about Rumble is that to keep up with Riven's damage, he's forced to use a lot of his spells, which eventually silences him, of course, and Riven able to take complete advantage of that. Here she does blow her ultimate with the 3 broken wings. The Equalizer may take her down, and it does. That Equalizer doing an unexpected amount of damage. I just ate my words in every sense of the way possible. But Rumble able to secure a nice kill on Riven there. She didn't have Ignite, which was I think her downfall. Rumble did, and he used it to his advantage. And that Equalizer just does so much unexpected damage.
He played it really well with making sure that he got his overheat off on his flame spitter, so he was continuing to do max damage even when he silenced himself. So yeah, he played it really well and was barely able to outdamage Riven. And an engagement onto
Vayne, but she is forced to blow her heal and is going to be able to get out of there. And what I was saying about the Rumble thing, people are already saying that I'm stupid because I said he has to use spells, is that he overheats, and it kind of sucks for him sometimes. The Flash Udyr onto Ziggs, red buff being applied. There's a Tiger stance for that bit of DPS. The Maelstrom comes out and takes down Ziggs very, very quickly. Oh, Kennen lives with almost no health. That red buff almost taking him down. Kennen living with 13 health. That was pretty impressive right there.
And that was a situation where I feel like the Tiger really paid off. Doing that extra damage was able to bring them down just a little bit faster than normal, and I think that if he didn't have Tiger there, Kennen would probably died.
So Dragon being taken down for Derpers. That Dragon will be up at 1656 in a little bit. So they were able to capitalize on that kill, and because once the jungler's down, you pretty much can take Dragon. Assuming you trust your own jungler and he's in the vicinity, his smite, of course, is going to win out against anything but another smite most of the time. And as a professional jungler, obviously your team trusts you to get a nice smite, right?
Yep.
How much do you get blamed if a Dragon or Baron is stolen from you?
Yeah, that pretty much just kick you off the team. I'm pretty sure that's how it works.
That is awesome. Now, it looks like as far as Farmer's concerned, down bot, Graves 88 CS. He is 0-1-0. Vayne 104 CS. So I wasn't quite watching the entire bot lane interaction down there. Graves did obviously go down early game, giving Vayne first blood in that nice flash tower dive at level 1, which was excellent. No, up top I thought something was going to happen, but it did not. But Vayne, I'm pretty sure, probably utilized that first blood money with the Doran's Blade to bully off this Grave as much as possible, using her Tumble, Shatter, Dazzle, and everything she possibly can to keep him away from CS. But the true grit, Soraka heal, Soraka, magic resist buff, armor buff. Soraka just such a strong support, able to keep him in the fight, and put him only about 20 CS behind, which is a big thing, but it could be a lot worse, I could say.
Yeah, at least they didn't let it snowball on them too badly. And they're going for another engagement here.
But Udyr's coming in
Udyr,
at the same time. The collateral damage doing a lot of damage to Vayne, and he's locked down before he can even tumble and become invisible away.
Probably not.
I don't think they're going to be able to pick up this Taric. He's just a little bit too fast for that Udyr. Udyr, of course, very, very fast with his active bear stance, but not quite able to catch up to a flashed Taric. How's the mid CS looking? Let's take a look. 93 on Kennen. Ziggs with 90. So Kennen does have a little bit of an advantage there. He does have his Hextech Revolver and his Blasting Wand, so we're going to see that built straight into a Will of the Ancients, which is a little bit different than last game when he got the Hextech and then built straight into an Abyssal Scepter. So I guess just different play styles and different lanes as well. He must want that Will of the Ancients in mid, feeling the harass and feeling the poke from Ziggs' long-range bouncing bomb.
Yeah, some players just have preferences. Maybe Hawkdon favors Will of the Ancients on most of his APs. I don't really know him that well as a player, and Frederica really doesn't like to complete it as much because this game too.
He's
it
doing
looks
it
like
again,
Frederica. Yeah, he's gonna go for the spell vamp, the revolver, and not complete it into Woda. And Kennen is gonna be rushing the Woda there for them. So.
And I'm going to assume, because I think the biggest detriment that Kennen had last game was the fact that he built the Revolver, and then he built into Abyssal, and then he finished Wota, and then he got Zhonya's. I'm pretty sure this time we're going to see a quick Will of the Ancients and then straight into a Zhonya's, because as soon as he got the Zhonya's, he started doing a lot more work than he was without the Zhonya's. He's able to get in there with his Maelstrom and do a lot of damage. But we'll see what happens. I don't want to call anything too early because you always get flamed when you do that, and I definitely don't want to be too flamed. But Taric being caught out of position here in between
he has no
Udyr
flash.
in a hard place. He has no flash, just like you said. They saw him blow it down bot whenever Udyr ganked early. And that is something very, very important that professional players think about, and that I think solo queue and normal players perhaps don't. You always need to know when other players have summoner spells and when they don't. That
was the way they made that play. Kennen knew that he could immediately pop his ulti because Taric didn't have his flash in that situation.
Otherwise, they wouldn't have gone on that.
Yeah, they would have played it differently. He would have either tried to get a stun off beforehand and flash over after him, flash after him, or he would have just ignored it and let Taric walk away. Depends.
Yes, indeed. So Vayne left down bot alone to fend for herself. Graves and Soraka pressuring this tower to about half health. In the meantime, Vayne has about a quarter health there. But Mundo's here to help out. He does have his ultimate, so he's going to gain a lot of move speed and a lot of health regen. Let's see if they decide to engage on this Graves. No, it looks like they're just going to pressure him out of there. Mundo going to go for it. Looks like a brush gank once Vayne pushes her lane a little bit. Very hard for it. No, he's just going to go for it. There's the Shatter Dazzle combo. But Graves forced to burn his flash out of there. Soraka may go down. No, she ults as well, healing both of them up. But Mundo, this is the tower dive Mundo we see. He does not have exhaust up, so he can't quite secure that kill. But here comes Udyr to try to save his friend Graves. One more silver bolt. The infected cleaver is going to pick up Graves. Taric may go down here to this Udyr. In the meantime, Kennen. Here comes Kennen to try and clean up. He doesn't have an ultimate. I don't know if they do know that because they.
Oh, and here's the Ziggs ulti picks him up.
Ziggs ulti picks up Udyr, and now it's a 2-on-1 situation here. Kennen no ulti underneath his own tower. Will Ziggs and Mundo dive this even more? Mundo doesn't have his ultimate, so I don't think it's quite something he wants to do. But the minefield doing a lot of damage.
Really good.
And wow, what is it? The fuse, his short fuse. A great auto attack there, coupled with the ignite, will take down Kennen underneath his own tower. Expertly played right there from Moopsy and Harakbot.
Yeah. Moopsy's actually known for his Ziggs. That's pretty much all he played in the live tournament that they won. And yeah, it's kind of scary seeing that much damage out of him. The way he played it was really excellent, leaving him with the red buff and ignite just ticking down in his turret.
That was really good. I think if he hadn't if a short fuse hadn't been active for that last auto attack, Kennen may have lived with like a sliver of
Yeah,
health. But
possibly.
the fact that short fuse was up because of Ziggs always spamming his cooldown and stuff, which reduces the cooldown of short fuse, they were able to secure that kill, and just so well played right there. Fantastic. And that ultimate from Ziggs too, picking up that Udyr was clutch.
Yeah, another thing also for Sypher is Udyr had Oracles, and they killed that too. So even though it was like a 4 for 2, it was also an Oracle skill. So it was a really big swing in money.
Yeah, definitely
and
in
here's
their
the
favor. So this is going to be a
Dragon.
5-on-5 team fight underneath Dragon here. The Equalizer does go out, landing on no one but the Vayne right there. The Maelstrom from Kennen is finally up.
They're going
Not
to get
doing
destroyed.
a lot of CC, though, because Vayne and Ziggs were just out of range of it. Kennen goes down, Udyr goes down, Graves goes down. Will they be able to catch up to Rumble?
No
Looks
one
like
died.
yes. Here comes the Dazzle. Boom. That is a dead Rumble. And Mundo almost killing himself. Actually, I don't know if you saw that, but he was in the back of the fight with like 10 health with his burning agony still on. I think that will kill you, right?
You can do that, but that'd be pretty scary if you could.
I feel, can that kill you? I guess not.
Nah, what happens is when you go really like when you don't have health anymore to sustain it, you just like it turns out like you can't cast it anymore. It's like the same way with Cleaver. It's like you can't kill yourself with Cleaver.
Okay. That would have been.
They
fantastic.
tried to make it
noob friendly.
yeah, noob friendly for people like me, so I don't kill myself in games and look like a retard.
I'm pretty sure there was certain skills in Dota that you could kill yourself with. Which was always funny. Of course, like detonate or self-destruct from techies and stuff like that. But there was stuff that did cost health that could potentially kill you. Pudge's Rot, I know, or I think it was Rot. It was what it was called. The
yep, you could.
That could.
And that was actually that
was
added
actually
like another
element.
level.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you could deny yourself like mid gank. So yeah, it was interesting.
Dota. I miss you. Centaur Double Edge could kill you. Yeah.
Yep.
Now we got the chat talking about Dota. Always a good thing. Welcome to League of Legends. This is now Dota chat. Up top, Riven farming expertly well. She has 137 CS to Rumble's 116, but there's the Equalizer. She's able to Valor out of it, and Udyr's going to catch up here. He does not have red buff. He does have that bear stun, but the Flash and Broken Wings will get